Democratic district, I won't be beholden to the Republican Party the way other congressmen of the party may be. And I also won't be beholden to the Democratic Party because I'm not a Democrat. I can be independent of the two-party system and try and act as a bridge between the two sides. You know? And that's what needs to happen. Whether you're a Democrat or Republican or independent, somebody needs to be able to take a stand, not necessarily against the two-party system, but at least independently of the way the two-party system works. Because the way the two-party system works right now, we have two sets of major interest groups, well, all sorts of interest groups within the two sides, who are pulling Americans apart for their own privatized benefit. Whether you're liberal or conservative, that almost doesn't even matter. You know, all of us in this room, we're just regular people. We're just regular old Americans. You know, we just want to go out and get a job. We want an affordable education. We want to make sure our friends and relatives are deported when they haven't committed any crimes except the crime of wanting to live out the American dream. And of course, we're going to have differences on all sorts of issues. But why can't this be the Founding Fathers' democracy? Why can't this be a democracy where we engage in reasoned discussion about our differences and don't find ourselves being torn apart by the pocketbook interests of the media, of the professional political classes who, again, profit and become empowered through our division? It's time for the people to come together. And you know, it's sort of a happy phrase, and politicians say it all the time. I know, I grew up listening to it. But I still believe it, though. You know? I still have the sense that ordinary people can come together, whether you're from the left or from the right, come together in a common sense way to address a lot of our problems. My hero growing up was Martin Luther King Jr. And people don't really know whether Martin Luther King Jr. was a Democrat or Republican. There's a reason for that. It's because Martin Luther King Jr. never wanted to take a real partisan side in that fight. He said, it's better for me to remain neutral, to be neither the master nor servant of either party, but the conscience of both. But King had a very definite political philosophy. He had a philosophy of agape love, a philosophy of reaching out to the conscience of both his political opponents and calling forth the best angels in the natures of his political supporters. You know? And in so doing, Martin Luther King Jr. was not only able to push for dramatic legislation that changed this country's history, but he was able to do that by changing the hearts of people who opposed him, you know? And what I say to people today is that even if you think that the left liberals are just evil, manipulative creatures, even if you think that conservatives and Tea Partiers are racist and fascist, this, that, or that, even if you think that, and I don't generally feel that way about either side, but even if you think that, isn't it best to try and touch the hearts of the people that you're trying to change, you know? Isn't it best as a community if we try and reach out to the better angels of people's natures and try and bring them around to seeing, you know, the goodness of where we're coming from and to acknowledge that in return. And so that's the type of politics I want to bring to Washington, D.C. I think I have a real chance to do it. I do. Looked at all the math. It's pretty daunting on the surface, but there's a pathway for me to win this election. But even if I didn't, I'm not saying I'm not going to win because I am, but even if I didn't win, it would be worth it just to bring this message to people, to say that Obama dream of hope and change, 2008, that's still worth believing in. Whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, support health, you know, Obamacare or not, that's irrelevant. What really matters is that we love and respect each other as Americans, as people of one home, one nation, one country, under God, or you have another point of view, at least under the truth. That out of many, we are one. That together we can make this country a thriving and beautiful place, and that we can make these cities in the 43rd District, Torrance, Inglewood, Hawthorne, wherever you live, wherever you come from, that we can come together and make this a country in which we can all be proud to be American. And that's why I'm running. Thank you.